Here we go. We are live, baby, live, as I get Pub Sports Radio hitting the books here with my guy Grant. Babano's out of town or doing something at some Canadian football CFL game, so the hosting's on me. So, I'm not Babano, but we will get through it, and I've done it before a few times, so we'll get through the shit. How you doing, Grant? I see that you're back home. You're doing better. Internet's doing better. How you feel, man? How was your first week? How was Saturday for you for the game?
Conor, what's up, man? It's good to be back. It was a tough first show for me with the internet grinds I had going on, so it's good to be back
definitely.
home. Damn, that was shitty, but shouldn't happen again. Good to be back home. And man, it was a good first week. I did the opposite of what I've done in the past years of not betting, getting crazy the first week just because you're happy to be back. And we got football, and last year was so weird. So the word for me this weekend was composure, and I kind of stuck with my picks, and they rolled pretty well. It was honestly just fun to see fucking college students in the stands and the bands, and you could see the energy from the kids. So it was just good, man. Good to be back. Happy to be here. It's Monday as a sports bettor, so we all know how that goes. Kind of boring, but Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Let's kill it.
Yeah, let's kill it. Let's get to the last one. We got one more game. That's tonight. We got some early baseball, but let's get to this one. Louisville at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, 10-point favorites. This has gone up. Started out like 8.5. Obviously 9.5 up there. There's 10s. It's come down 74. It was 76 just days ago. We're seeing a little bit of under money. I think people are thinking this is crazy. This is, first week of the year. But I got to tell you, with both these offenses and defense, I don't know how it doesn't here. Let's go with Louisville a little bit. Man, they were bad last year. I thought it was a team coming off 2019 that was a lot better, and they weren't. The offense was okay, turned the ball at times, and right now, they have Malik Cunningham is back. That's about all for them. Tutu Atwell, some of their pieces are gone. Their receivers. He had a decent year last year, 2,600 yards, 20 TDs, 12 picks. And he's about it, dual threat guy. But other than that, their defense was not very good. Tackling was very bad. But I don't know. I think they could hang in this game because on the other side, Ole Miss, their coach is out, obviously. Lane Kiffin's got COVID. He won't be on the sidelines tonight. I didn't know if I mentioned the game is in the Georgia Dome. The Falcons play Mercedes-Benz Georgia Dome tonight. For this one, but Ole Miss, great quarterback, Matt Corral. I got through for a ton of yards, so good. They hung 48 on Bama last year, scored 39-2 a year ago last year. But that defense, it just was go like this: score, get scored on, scored, and all three levels of that defense needs work, and I think it will tonight. Can Ole Miss today? Not only will they score and do this, will they cover easy tonight? Or do you think this defense gets better? Or do you think this shabby Louisville team and Malik Cunningham, can he keep them in this ball game? What do you got here for it, Grant?
I think that's a great breakdown. I think one of the things that I really noticed when I was looking at Louisville was they got 70 freshmen this season. They lost a lot, but 70 damn freshmen. I mean, that's a lot of fucking young kids that don't know each other coming into a program. And I talked a little bit about it last week, how culture and what's established in the locker room is so big, especially in college sports. We got 70 freshmen coming in. You're missing a couple of your skilled players. So my favorite college players to watch. He's not at the highest level of quarterback by any means, but the kid's super athletic. He's a dual threat. You said he threw for 20 tutties last year. I think he ran for right around 600 yards. So the dude can play, and he's going up against this Ole Miss D that they shouldn't be in the SEC, right? They shouldn't be in the SEC with that defense. Just based on like the vibe and what you think of SEC football, you don't think shitty defense. So as I look at this game, it just dropped down to on MGM. It just dropped down to 8.5. So as I'm on right here. So still 9 in some spots. I see it all over on my little app here, but I liked Louisville at 9.5. We're getting a little bit sketchy here with the line movement, in my opinion. A lot coming down late, but it's a stay away game for me. I lean Louisville in the points just because Ole Miss's D is so shitty. They set the record for pass yards in a season last year in the SEC per game, pass yards per game.
Yeah.
And they went 5-5, right? Like
5-5.
That's not great for me. So anyway, I'm going Louisville with the points. It's a lean. It's not a play. No real home field advantage at Mercedes-Benz, but I guess some for Ole Miss with just a little bit more crowd. Hang me in at Louisville with a lean on the points.
Yeah, Ole Miss. So, man, everyone loved what Kiffin came in and did, scoring those points. But like you said, only 5-5. It was just ho-hum year. But, man, they brought back everyone's hyped for him this year. But I worry about that defense. Yeah, our guy Birdie, everyone in the chat, shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. Go hit our retweet. Hit all that good shit that we need. Get everyone rolling in here. Let's get talking some football. Birdie mentions, Kiffin not coaching affecting that. No, I mean, I think so. I mean, he's the guy. He's the offensive guru. I think it's a little bit, but I obviously they're bringing back a decent enough, especially on offense. They got plenty of weapons that I think they'll be able to score. But yeah, it might affect them a little bit here in game one. And it's first game of game one. That's why we're seeing under money week one. But I don't know how both these teams make stops. It's from what I saw last year. So I agree. It was just so high. It coming down. But I think it could get there. The total. It's just really, really high. And I'm shocked how much Louisville money. Last night, I didn't think about taking it. I said, I think this will stay. There was buyback once they hit 10.5. I said, I think they'll stay there. I might take Louisville, especially if I can get 10 in the hook. Mm-hmm. And this has come down now. I'm not on it either. There's some Louisville money definitely coming in. Boom! Shout out to my guy Tony Cobbs, the $5 dono. All day, every day. He's always in here. Dono train. Hit it. We love it, man. We appreciate it. But yeah, let's get that one tonight. That should be great. We got football on tonight, Labor Day, so a lot of baseball, so we're good to go. All righty, let's roll to the next one. Earlier, it's going to be Kansas at Coastal Carolina. This is Friday night. We just have 2 Friday night games. That's it this week. We got a kind of a short week of games. Coastal's 27-point favorites, totals 53.5 in some spots. Coastal Carolina took care of business. I had them first half. I think I just kept it to that. I'd have to double check. I don't know. Some of these games I only kept first half. I didn't go full game. I thought they'd take care of business. They easily did. McCall, he's really good. That defense was really good. They did give up some yards. McCall went for 262, and they ran for 250. They ran all over him. Defense gave up some junk yards late that I was shocked about. But we're talking Kansas. This team got by South Dakota. I think it was – I don't know how much to go by this win. This week is overreaction week for me. This team played okay. Kansas has been such in the dumps, and Kansas did nothing well. They were on a 4th and 10 at the 50. Guy threw like a 25-yard pass. I think his name's Jason Bean, the quarterback. He threw for 200 yards. They got it, and they scored the game-winning touchdown and won 17-14. Their defense played well. They only had 3.7 yards per play, the lowest since 2004. A real ugly game. I don't know how they do much here, but Coastal Carolina, is not used to being this big favorites too much. Can they cover 4 touchdowns? What do you think? Let me know, Grant. What do you got here?
Yeah, I think just as you said, Coastal Carolina is a minus 27-point favorite. I would love to see the stats on when the last time they were a plus 21 or plus favorite. It's been a while, I would assume. And they haven't lost a regular season game since 2019, November 2019. I believe this is another good stage for them to grow and blow somebody out and kind of get more of that national picture again and again. As you said, Grayson McCall, he's a solid quarterback, man. Last year when they played, he combined for 5 touchdowns, and they won 38-23. As you talked a little bit about Kansas, this is just not a good football team, in my opinion. This coach, Lance Leupold, this first season, he was hired in May. he didn't get to do any of spring camp with the team. So all of his evaluations came in August, and it was pretty low. It took him a while to come to the conclusion to put Bean as the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I guess they had a three quarterback competition going, and before he even when he announced it, he said this Bean dude's going to be the starter for the rest of the year. So many question marks. Not a great team. Coastal big favorites. I just don't see. I don't see how I could play Kansas as that big of a dog, and Coastal is just foreign to me at that -27. But this is a big year for Coastal, so I expect them to make a big splash. Like we talked about, there's only 2 games on Friday. It's a good stage for them to pound somebody here. I think it'll be Kansas.
Yeah, like we saw, some teams struggle as we get into a couple of these Saturday games we get. A team like South Dakota, Kansas, hung in there. How good is that?
Right, that overreaction as you talked about. It's money comment.
Exactly. Coastals beat them up last year twice, but they were dogs. I remember last year that was the flavor. Week 1 was Coastal. They will beat Kansas. And they beat them the year before.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're going to beat them again.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. They were dogs to Kansas. Les Miles was still there. Kansas was still favored by a touchdown in Week 1 last year. I was on it. Tons of people were on it. Kind of was like the UTSA last week.
Right.
They got it done. But they beat them pretty handily, won by 15. I just worry the 4 touchdowns. Yeah, it's a little bit. This is only the 5th time of them having a number like this big, a spread.
5th time, so, yeah.
I look to right back to first half. Looking at this game, if I'm on Coastal, I think they bring it right away. And because I worry about some of the late stuff, they took everybody out. This game, they might not. And the defense should play better. I was surprised. It was a lot of junk time, but they gave a lot of yards on the ground to Citadel, which was a little bit shocking, but it was all in junk time, so there's not a lot to go on that one. But I'd look definitely at Coastal first half. If I were to bet this one full game, I don't know too much about that one. Let's roll to our next Friday night one, our only other one. It's 9:30. We got UTEP against Boise State. Boise State came out 28-point favorites. We got 27s just about all across the board. 55.5 the total. Man, Boise came out hot. Did they not? Brockheimer looked good. 14-0 real quick.
Came out buzzing, they got on the bounce house.
Yeah. They came in fired up. But I think a little bit, you'll probably talk about it here, the humidity maybe got to them later in the game. Some cramps playing down there. But they got turnovers too. That's a big deal the UCF quarterback didn't turn the ball over last year all year. He found his rhythm. They started slinging it around. But what a great game, in the end, 36-31. If you were on Boise, either you covered or you didn't, depending on what you got in that game, the line. So, because that moved all the way up to like 6.5 before kickoff. But Brockheimer, 263, he was solid. The defense gave up all those yards like I talked about. Gabriel, 318, 4 TDs. He had the 2 bad picks, and they ran all over Boise. I think it was for 250, just about UCF. I don't think UTEP is going to be doing that here, but this number is really, really big. UTEP had to break it, a close one off with Bethane Cookman, 38-28 win. The week before that, they won 33 to New Mexico State. So what are they going to do here? That one, I thought, wow, UTEP took care of New Mexico State. That's how bad New Mexico State is. Everyone just jot that down. Where a team like Bethane Cookman, some of these teams that aren't there, that's how bad New Mexico State is. This one's interesting to me. Can Boise's back at home? I think they have the offense. Can they cover this number? Yeah, maybe this is a first half. Full game, I look a little bit to UTEP. I'm going to dig, of course, a little bit deeper. We have the rest of the week to get to it. But what do you have? What do you have a feeling on this game here, Graham?
Yeah, I like that. What you said about the humidity in the UCF game. I talked about it on Monday's show, how that's just a hard place to play for a team from Idaho to go all the way down to Florida, and it's in September or in the late August. But damn, they came out great, man. I was super impressed with Boise, especially as this Avalos, their head coach, his first game at the program.
Yeah.
And a little bit of his post-game comments. Like, I just like the guy. He seems like a guy that, like, you want to play for. He's young. He's got good energy. It seems like that culture's there. And you'll hear me talk about this shit all the time, guys, just because I think it's such a big deal in college sports, what's going on in the locker room. And I like what's going on in the locker room in Boise State. I think they have a good quarterback. Everything you said, I agree with. And I think they're going to come back a little pissed off. These are the games that I've really enjoyed more and more as I've gotten into betting, gotten into sports betting over the last 3-4 years, is how do teams respond after, like, this game. You know, it's not a huge highlight game, but this is a big game for Boise State. I love Boise State in the first half. I'm not going to overthink it. It's going to be a small wager here on Monday. I'm not going to get crazy on it, just because I think they're going to come out banging and they're going to be pissed off. And I like this coach. I know that he's going to have his guys ready to play. You talked everything I need to say about UTEP, really. The only thing I'd add would be they have 2 good running backs, I think. I mean, their stats say they have good running backs. And, again, overreaction week. You got to be smart here. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Who were they playing against? They weren't playing against quality opponents. But last week, Willie Eldridge and Ronald Watt ran for 244 yards. So, again, playing a shitty team, but that's a lot of yards. So I'm going to lock in on Boise State first half right now as a small bet. But UTEP could cover. It's a weird game for me. I like Boise State. I'll be really just watching Boise State and how they respond in this one.
Yeah, you talked about, obviously the competition's different, but I was shocked a little bit how bad Boise's run defense was a little bit there. Obviously, it's going to be different with UTEP, but you talked about their success, different team. That's why I love, week 2 and even 3, because they play these such shitty team. Now UTEP stepping up and playing Boise. Boise played a solid USF team in their house, now coming back home. Obviously, it's big for them. They're at home. They want to win and probably come out early, but laying 4 touchdowns is always – this is where I wanted UTEP in this spot kind of throughout the year. I thought they could maybe cover some of these games, backdoor cover. They're not that good, but I think they, could maybe hang in this one. Or this could be a Boise 55-10, easily as well. So it's definitely one that I'm interested in as well. I think you're right, too. If you like Boise, maybe roll first half if you think they're going to come out hot. But Brockheimer looked good. They ran it well. I was just a little surprised the defense. They didn't play too well, so they should do better against a UTEP team. Let's get to a couple Saturday ones.
That's a good point on the Boise State defense. I think I definitely overlooked that, but that's something that is on the top of my list watching this week. Is it dominance?
Yeah, we'll see it because
you know what I mean?
UCF. Right. Yeah, we'll see it because UCF's a lot better team.
Should be dominance from Boise State.
Yeah,
but,
in their house. But them at home, they're on the Smurf turf. They've always played there. They're always really good there, so you can't go wrong with them. So big number, 23. I can't wait. And we got such a week. We got to get to Saturday games, you and me. We wanted to touch on a few. Let's get to my first one that we kind of both were looking at was Oregon, number 11 Oregon, Ohio State. Probably going to be 2 or 3 in the poll that came out. Obviously, Clemson lost, so there'll be 2 or 3. Let's start with Ohio State. The spread's 14. That's where I thought it might be. The total's already moved up to 63.5. I think we're going to see points in this one as well. We saw it last week with Minnesota. CJ Stroud, I thought he was pretty good. They started out a little slow, turned it on in the second half. He threw for 294, a touchdown. He had 1 pick. But Ohio State was able to run it like I thought they would on Minnesota. My big key taken away from that game, though, that same Ohio State defense that got gashed at times. And it was there, especially early on in the second half, too. They gave the late scores. And you either got a win, a push, depending on how you got that number last week. And we'll get to Oregon. I was like a lot of us were on the Fresno. We thought they could throw it around. That was Oregon's problem, was their defense, and especially their secondary. Oregon, young team back there. They've had some problems. I thought Brown at QB was okay for the Ducks, 172, a touchdown. But they were able to run the ball. They had over 200 yards, I think 220 running against Fresno. And I think Fresno was right in that game. Oregon, their defense stepped up right at the very end when it needed to. It made those few stops in the last few possessions. They got the win. Maybe they were looking ahead, people say. I didn't think they looked that great, Oregon did. But I think they'll be able to score on Ohio State. So I think this one's close. I love it. I don't know how much more we're going to keep going up over 2 touchdowns. But if it is, I think we see points again. I don't love both defense. I think both offenses could score. And I look to it more as Oregon catching over 2 touchdowns than laying it with Ohio State. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you on the fact that that Fresno Oregon game, that was a great game. That was a game that I didn't have any stake in it. I was having a couple pints watching it with my buddy, loving it, man. That was just a good college football game. Fresno, they got a little grit. They got a little toughness, I think.
They can throw it too. They can throw it around.
Hell yeah.
With Hainer, yeah.
Yeah, they can throw that ball. They can move it. I like everything that's going on there. Really, it was pleasantly surprising for me. I kind of missed the boat on the Fresno in week 1, and then I look at this game. My first reaction was Ohio State is going to have a fucking day on offense. Wilson and Olave. Yeah, they're gonna ball out. What did Olave had 4 catches, 117 yards, 2 tutties against Minnie. Wilson had 5 catches, 80 yards, 1 tutty.
80 yards. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
These dudes are going to have a season. It reminds me of Smith on Alabama and the kid that got hurt last year on Alabama. The other wide receiver, I can't remember his name. He was a stud. I think these two are maybe the best 2 wide receivers in the league or in college football. I think they're going to have a day. I really like Ohio State's total. I'm not even sure what it is. I haven't looked at what their
team total. You mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to look it up.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm guessing it'd probably be 38, right around there. I got to check that, but
yeah, something in that range. As long as it's right under 40, I like it. And I think Oregon will be able to throw here. But I'm going to ride this Ohio State team. I think they're better than people think they are. I'm going to go with the -14 as well. I think it's going to be closer because Oregon's going to be able to throw the ball on them. I think it's something we just have to accept with Ohio State. We have to accept it. They're a great fucking team, but this is their Achilles heel. So I think Oregon's going to move the ball. Brown didn't shock me for Oregon. He didn't shock me in terms of this kid's a stud, but he also didn't disappoint me. You know, this kid could play, and so I like Ohio State in this one at the -14. It's scary because it's a little bit heavy, and I like Ohio State team total. I think they're going to run at the old horseshoe.
Yeah, one thing we talked about how Brown wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But Morgan just for 205 for Minnesota, but they ran it. Both those running backs for a minute. Yes. They ran for over just over 200, I think, on Ohio State, which I was a little bit shocked. So they were able to move it on them. So Oregon was able to run it easy on Fresno. Little different Ohio State, but I think they'll be able to run it. Yeah. So I think if you like the over, get in now. It's already moved. You know, it's moved, but I still think at 63.5, you're okay. This could get up. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yep, I thought it'd be right there. Good call. Yeah. Thank you. Shoot it to Jose on the 1s and 2s. We appreciate it. Get on screen here, Jose. We got to see you. Jose, no one's seen. Let's see your mustache, man. Look at it. Get a close up. Well, you're already bringing it back out. You're bringing it back.
This is just how it grows right now. Hello. It's nice to see you guys. I have not talked on screen in a while, so hello, everyone.
Wow. It looks like you're bringing the stash back, though.
Who knows? Maybe it's coming back. I guess we'll have to see on Tuesday, tomorrow. Have to see.
Wow, the suspense of Jose. Unreal. All right, get out of here. We love you, but get the hell out of here. All righty. Let's roll to the next one. We got the Battle of Ohio here. Iowa State. Iowa State. I'm sorry. I'm all goofed up here. Iowa, man, what a game they had against Indiana. The defense was suffocating. Petras didn't have to do much. QB 145, Goodson at 100 yards. But Penix, 3 picks. That defense was just all over him. They didn't have a shot from the start, Indiana. And I think beat an Indiana team that's going to be pretty good. I don't know, maybe they can win 7 games. this year. But Iowa State struggled a little bit. Northern Iowa, were they looking ahead? This is another game as a look ahead spot. A 16-10 win. Of course, Northern Iowa always gets up. That's little brother to these teams, to Iowa State. But Brock Purdy back, Breece Hall, we ran for 1,500 yards last year. This game should be great. I lean under in it. The total's 44.5. 3.5 is Iowa State. This is the big one here. Do you take how bad they played and everyone's going to jump on Iowa? Taking the plus 3.5? I think you got to. And I know a lot of people like Iowa State already that I've heard whispers around, but they haven't been able to beat them. One thing Iowa State has struggled. Games are always really close. They've lost by 3. They're always low scoring. That's why I even lean under at 44. For college, that's crazy. But when these teams get together, that's nothing. So I definitely lean under in this one. It should just be a dogfight. And I can't wait. What do you have on this one, about Iowa here, Cornfields?
The Cornfield game, man. I think you said everything that I was going to say on it. This is old school Midwest September football.
Smash mouth.
This is big country boys banging against each other, and it's going to be a slow paced. Excuse me. It's going to be a slow paced, high intensity rivalry game. Iowa State. They have had some hype. I've heard those whispers. A lot of people like them. I understand why too. But this Iowa D last week, man, that was fun. That was waxing that ass, is what that was. You're not going to get nothing on us all night long. And I think we're going to see more of it. It might be a trend with Iowa this year. So I love that under. I haven't analyzed this one too much, but everything you said, I agree with and love. Old school Midwest football, scary under because it's so low. But when you look at the teams, it's really not. I think it's priced pretty right.
Yeah, if you look at the past years, it's like 17-10. These games are always, just super low scoring. I mean, they've had like 10-7 games, shit like that.
Old school.
16-17. And Iowa State, they just can't beat Iowa. So until I see it, I think that 3 in the hook, there's value. But other people see it the other way, that how good Iowa State was last year. They're just that good this year. Man, but Iowa looked good. Is this the overreaction? They really look good against Indiana. Punk them, kind of. Penix, they get 3 picks off them. Defense looks great. Offense looks good, just like an Iowa offense should. Slow, but score points. So, man, it should be a good one. But I'd lean a little bit early on the under, and I'd grab the 3.5. You could even go money line if you like Iowa, because Iowa State just has trouble beating them. They just haven't got it done. All righty, let's roll the next one. I like this game. I wrote this one down. Another team that had a great week, Texas and Arkansas. This one should be really, really good. This numbers moved. Texas is a 6-point favorite. The total's moved to 58.5. Man, I thought Texas played well for Sarkisian's first game as coach there. And they have the 2-quarterback system. And with Thompson and Card, he went 224 a TD. Thompson went 4-5 with a TD. They ran for it. They got some turnovers. Lafayette, I think, won. But Lafayette just didn't get it done. They beat a good team. I was shocked how well Texas played. On the other side, Arkansas, that whole first half, which I almost bet. I was all over, I thought, betting that. And I pumped the brakes, and I didn't bet it full game either. They ended up covering them. So they were down 10-7 at halftime. Jefferson looked all right at QB, but then second half, Arkansas was able to run it all over them in that second half against Rice. And the other thing, the Arkansas defense got 3 interceptions. That was the big key. Rice coughed it up. The second half, I think they outscored them 31-7. They ended up covering by 21, cover the 19. Man, the more I see this, and the line's already moving 6, this could get more. I like Arkansas in this game. What do you like?
The week 1 Tech, it was again one of those kind of feel good things for me in week 1 to see Texas playing well. It's just good to see, especially at a first-year head coach. He kind of reminds me of Avalos a little bit. I like what I see from that Texas group right now. As you said, with Arkansas, the one thing that really surprised me was that D. It was against Rice, right? So we got to be careful here, but
yeah,
it was 3 picks is 3 picks, man, and it wasn't like they could have gotten a couple more too. This game, Arkansas, I like that pick. It's kind of a ballsy pick in my opinion, but I like it. I'm going to stay away. I don't know enough on this one. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I like Arkansas. I like that pick, but I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, this game here, like you said, Jefferson just was okay, but that's why I touted Arkansas early. They're getting 6.5. I think this might move a little more. I don't know. I think it'll stay at.
I think you're right.
I think it will stay though 7. I don't know if we get 7.5, but if I see a 7.5, I'd be all over Arkansas here. 5 offensive linemen back. They're bringing back defense. Man, they just need to get awake. Some of these teams haven't got off the bus. I don't know what they're playing. Rice. This was a look ahead. Totally. Maybe we got Texas on deck. Man, they were sleepwalking that first half, and I was glad I didn't bet it because I go, oh shit. And then they came out and just destroyed them like I thought they would. I think it's just a solid matchup here. And I'm watching this one if Texas gets over a touchdown. And yeah, I'm with Birdie. I'm with you. I like the under a little bit on this one as it's I have 58.5. Yeah, there's 57.5. Yeah, you're right. Real quick, Osby, I wanted to shoot you. He said, that was a question he had for me. What do you think Iowa can do? Iowa State do what Iowa did this past week? Yeah. I mean, they just haven't done it in this big game. Of course they could. They could punch them in the mouth, and have a few turnovers, and it could be. But I have a feeling this one is too big for both these kids for, these two schools, Iowa State. I think it's close, and it's really good. But, yeah, this Arkansas one I'll be watching all week, and I can't wait to jump on maybe over a touchdown here. This one was one I zoned in on right away. I think they got to get better quarterback play. I think Jefferson was okay, but I think they could do better. And Texas, I think they're talented, and I shocked how well they played. I think it's a good Lafayette team. Maybe Lafayette's not as good. This is what we're going to see after week 1, 2. We keep talking about. So maybe will Texas continue this? Because over the last few years, Texas, the high hopes, they'll win a couple and then they'll start losing, or they lose right away, like we thought they might not cover last week. Then they'll win some going on. I still think we'll see this whole 2 quarterback system with Sarkisian. He's never been great as a head coach. I've never cared for him. As OC, he seemed that's his fit. But he's trying to turn Texas around, and that was a great first win for sure.
Tough job to turn something.
Oh yeah,
like that,
oh yeah,
damn,
hell yeah.
And I really believe that line's going to move up. It could go to 7.5, just based on the name.
I think it is too.
Just
based on the name. It's right there though.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next one. This is one you were looking at, Miami and App State. Hold on, that's the one I didn't have. Hold up, you got it there. Miami 7.5 point favorites. Is that right, Jose? 54.5.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, that's what
our numbers. I would say our numbers have been off a little bit sometimes, but yeah, that should be around that ballpark.
Sorry, I didn't shot this. Wow, how bad do you think that Miami loss was to Bama? Do you think they got throttled? Or do you think that was just Alabama's that good? What do you think? Hit me with it.
Yeah, so I was super pumped to watch this game, man. I've been a huge fan of Miami since the U and the 30 for 30s came out. It was before my time. Yeah. But I've been a fan of them since then, even though I was a little kid. I've always loved them. They've never been great since I've been, able to watch. I got family in Alabama. They're all fucking Crimson Tide fans. I knew this shit was going to happen, man. I knew this shit was going to. I mean, I saw that line and I stayed off of it because it's week 1. So, I mean, I'm not acting like a genius here, but damn, Bama, they're that good. They're that good, Conor. I really believe that. I think Miami, the two takeaways I had from that game. 1, Bama's legit as fuck as always. 2, I think Miami's pretty good. I kept saying that the entire game. I was watching it with with a couple of my buddies going, damn, I still like Miami. I think they're going to be a good team. I still believe that, even though they're getting the shit beat out of them. The one reason I like Miami, because the one thing I haven't seen from them in so many years is a little bit of fucking heart, a little bit of passion. And even though they were getting smacked, they were still competing in my eyes. Not in some others, but in my eyes, they were still competing. And I think that ass whooping and the fact that they did do some things right, I mean, not much, but they did a couple. They're going to come back at home with a bunch of energy, man. They got embarrassed on a national stage. I think they have a good quarterback in King. I think they have a decent defense. It's not good, but I think it's decent. But guess who they're going up against? They're going up against my main man, Chase Bryce. That I think they're going to eat him up. He had a decent week one. He threw 20 for 27, 2 TDs, one interception. App State's running backs, I talked about it last week. This Cam Peoples dude, he had a great year last year. And then Nate Noel, he had like 150 yards or something like that too. So, and then their stud wide receiver Hennigan, he had 4 catches for 115 yards and a TD. So I look at this game. I think App State is decent, but I think this line it's too small. I like Miami. I'm going to roll with Miami first half. I'm going to roll with Miami full game. I think this is one of those games where we've all thought this for so many years with Miami, similar with Texas. Like they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
Damn, it's been painful as hell. But I think this is the game, or one of the games, where they do show that there's levels, and they're a couple levels above App State. I'm hoping so anyway, as a fan and with my wallet.
For sure, yeah. I thought that was just Bama just kicking ass. I mean, and then of course Bama laid off the second half. I think Miami did, some things right. I mean, King was just getting mauled out there. They have the athletes though, and they're getting that defense. That's the one key with Miami. That defense got, shredded, especially against good teams, bad teams. So this will be interesting because I wouldn't bank on Bryce. That's why I'm not with you. This is a game I think I'm going to stay off. Mm-hmm. I lean Miami, but it's over the touchdown. App State away from home and with Bryce. I mean, he did it against East Carolina. I thought they'd be a little bit better. I thought they could backdoor cover, and I thought they could score a little bit more than just the 19. But App State had a pretty good defense coming back. We talked about that. It was their defense, and they needed to run it. And even though Bryce was okay, those running backs, I mean, they ran for like 270. Both those guys ran for over 100 apiece. They ran it all over East Carolina. So this one could be good. I don't know. I don't think App State goes in and wins, but it could be close. I'm interested to watch this one. This is one I'm not going to probably bet, but I'd like to watch for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's literally one of those games for me where it's like, I know it's probably a little bit too much, but I like it, man. I like it. I look at King and I go, damn, dude, the dude tore his ACL, and then he's got to play Alabama week 1. Good luck. Again, as I watched that game, I saw King. He was still fucking competing, even though he was getting smacked around. And Manny Diaz
hobbling off. He was hobbling off all the time.
ACL. I've had a couple major surgeries coming back, and I remember going into my senior year, I had major shoulder surgery after my junior year, coming back week 1, and it's just, it was just a super physical game, and I remember it just being just an eye opener. You kind of get punched in the mouth, going, this is the level I used to play at, or this is what it is. So. Again, man, I like Miami. I like King, but it could be a scary one, as you said. It could definitely be a scary one.
Yeah, it's just Bama. We talked about it on the show on Saturday. Just, take them first half. They're just way up here, and there's just everything down here. Can Georgia compete? Maybe that was big Georgia for them getting a win. They never win big games. They got it done. Totally. Obviously the offense it was sluggish. Both they couldn't score. If you like old school football, that was the game. I thought Clemson would have made a better change at halftime. Dabo, as the coach he is, I don't think they did. I couldn't believe they couldn't get in the end zone or get some more points. But a team like Georgia or one of these, Ohio State. But I think Bama would just run on Ohio State. So maybe it's just Bama and everybody else again this year. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of one
All
of
right.
those things, man. I think we're right there, and it's just Bama. Bama's Bama. Let's not overthink it. It is week 1, so but they look to be the same as we've seen.
For sure. Shout out to the chat, all my guys in here. Michael Robertson, Robert Cherry, what's up? Zach Wilson for MVP, Oz B, Birdie, my guy, Fat Wally, my guy. Hope you're doing good, man. I see you're doing healthier. Appreciate you. Hopefully one of these days I'll jump on the horse stream with you like we were talking about. Lucky Power, Schnizzle, my guy. Hell yeah, Schnizzle. All the guys, Tony Cause for the dono, Abel Alvarez, everyone that came in. We appreciate Tony Brewster, Brian Watson, everyone that's in here. Hit this hit the retweet, hit the thumbs up at least. Give us a thumbs up. We just got a few more games left, and we will be out of here. The next one, this was one that you wanted to look at here. Michigan against Washington here. Michigan 6-point favorites. Wow, Michigan looked good in week 1, which I thought they could. The trust for me with them is just a long ways away, and with Harbaugh. So, but it was good. They kicked ass. Their defense looks solid. I was surprised I'm not surprised. Western Michigan has no defense. They're going to be able to score a lot in the MAC. That's why these MAC teams were so bad. They all got their ass kicked, and one of the worst in the MAC, Northern Illinois, which I had Georgia Tech, beat them. That's how pathetic the Georgia Tech game was, and they were one of the every MAC team, even Syracuse beat Ohio, kicked their ass, 28-9. So the MAC, obviously we knew they were going to get their ass kicked, but the one team wow. No more speaking of that. We'll cut that out. But let's get to this one. McNamara was good. They have the two quarterback system. They both kind of played okay. They ran it just all over them. I think they ran over 300 yards. Michigan did, which I thought they would there, and the defense played well. But what about Washington? Man, what a bad loss to Montana. Not that Montana, the Big Sky, they played well. They covered against a bunch of teams all weekend. I mean, I think they might have went undefeated. I'd have to double check that, at least on covering numbers. But man, maybe they took them lightly. They shouldn't. 3 picks by the Washington quarterback, 226. And they didn't run it either. Washington got stuffed. I think they had about 60 yards rushing. I wrote down 65. Montana couldn't move it. Washington, obviously, they should stop a Montana team. They only had 105 yards passing. Ran a little better. But what an ugly one. That was just an ugly, ugly game. I caught a little bit of it. How's Washington? Is this the big game now? Like, they played so bad, they're going to be better. Can they cover? It's only 6 points. Is this just Michigan's going to go and walk all over them here at home? It'll be a tough one for the Huskies. What do you like in this one, Washington at Michigan?
You said it great, man. I'll go to the Washington side first. I mean, could you start a season worse, really? I mean, you don't score a touchdown. Or did they score a touchdown? Did they lose 13-7? I think it was 13-7. Okay, so they lost
13-7.
Yeah. You score 1 touchdown in your home opener against Montana. There's not much else to say. I mean, that's terrible for everything involved. Everything involved. That's an embarrassing loss. So what does that say to me? That says this week's going to be all business. We're going to see what this Washington team is about. Again, an overreaction of, are they actually that shitty? Did they not get off the bus? Or was it a look ahead? Tough for me to kind of get on the look aheads in week 1 just because we haven't played in so long and you got a home game and you're looking ahead to a Michigan team that was average last year, if you even want to call it that.
Yeah.
Right? And then you got Dylan Morris throwing 3 picks. So you got your quarterback. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible. Nothing good happened for Washington in week 1. So I expect a response. That being said, Michigan was impressive. Western Michigan isn't great. I think they'll do decent. I think they'll move the ball decently well in the MAC too, just like you said. But damn, coming in. I mean, talk about tough spots to be in. I think Boise State was in one of the toughest spots. I think Western Michigan was in one of the toughest spots you could possibly be in. A Jim Harbaugh with extreme amounts of pressure on him, and a team that's going to play in front of 107,000 fans. So
Yeah.
I was impressed with Michigan, but it wasn't like, wow, these guys are really, this great first game. It was solid. It was solid. It is what it should have been. Now, I feel square doing this one, but I like Michigan at the -6, and I like them early, grabbing this early because I think it's going to move up. I saw someone in the chat put their number one receivers out, so that could obviously hurt things. But yeah, Zach Wilson, thank you, man, appreciate that. And then we're playing in front of 107,000 fans. It's a hot seat game for Harbaugh. Washington just lost. Michigan loses this game, man, they might burn down the city. So I'm rolling Michigan at -6. I just think it's one of those pressure things where Michigan will prevail. And I don't know how good Washington is. Michigan could smack the shit out of them, 21-7. I don't know. I just don't know on what's Washington. So this is more of a Michigan bet based on the pressure, the situation. They're at home. They look solid in week 1. I like them at -6 because I do think it's going to go up. I think just publicly, based on the names, that could get to 6.5, maybe 7.
I think so too. I think not everyone's into it. We're just, we're here on Monday, which we'll be here every week doing this. I think it could go up just people realize the casual bettors and stuff like that will go, wow, Washington last week to Montana, find that out and say Michigan's only laying under a touchdown. So I think it moves as well. It could be a buy low on Washington. Can they be this totally bad? This game to me is a watch as well, but I don't bet Michigan often, but from what I saw, I watched a little bit of both games. Right now at 6, I think there's a little value on Michigan, and maybe like you talked about early. I mean, Washington, all teams are different. I see these teams, sometimes these week ones are horrible. They get going. They haven't done anything. These spring practices haven't been together and haven't played anything live, real, football, and especially like you said, place like the big, 107,000, huge stadium. But Washington, man, they're a team that 3 picks that killed them. I don't know the way Michigan defense can they play well. I mean, if Montana shut them down at home, they're going on the road, like you talked about. This could be a buy low for Michigan and get them to cover. This one is head scratching to me. One I want to watch because Michigan in the past has burned me, and I love going against Michigan. Shout out to our guy Big Show's a Michigan fan. I always like ripping him on that. They've had all the troubles they've had in Harbaugh, which I can't believe he's still there. Yeah. They pay that guy all that money to rock those khakis on the sideline. But that's it. That's it for our college ones. We wanted to touch on Saturday. If there's anything in the chat, shoot us something you might want to ask. But we're going to get right to the Thursday night NFL game. The lone one, the opener, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Bucks, 7.5-point favorites. Totals moved up. Came out like 49. It's up to 52. What do you have in this one? Give me what you got here on Cowboys, Bucks.
Gosh, the Cowboys remind me of Michigan a little bit. As you said, just to touch it back on that when we were talking about Michigan, I hate betting Michigan ever, almost in any sport, man, because they're always publicly, it's just crazy. So that just having that ticket already placed for me is just, I don't like having to sit on a Michigan bet for that long. Anyway, this game, first game of the year, man, it's good to be back. We're going to be in Tampa. I went down to Tampa for the Super Bowl last year. I didn't go to the game. I didn't go to the game, but I went down for the festivities. It was awesome. I had Tampa. It was a good way to end the season. I look at this, man. We get another chance to watch Tom Brady. So let's count our blessings here, fellas. I mean, we get another chance to watch the best to ever do it at home on a Monday night. Or on a Thursday night. It's going to be fun. And I look at Dallas. This is one of those games where I just don't want to overthink because Dallas is the sketchiest team in the league, in my opinion. I just never, ever, ever know what I'm going to get. Here I got question marks. Dak's health, question mark. Zeke's level of performance and health. Their defense, question mark. Their coach, question mark. I lived in Green Bay when they won the 2010 Super Bowl with McCarthy. And, dude, I just don't like him. I don't like what he brings, so we'll see. So many question marks for Dallas. Keep me the fuck away from them all season. Now, all that being said, 7.5 is kind of cute to me. It's kind of pretty to me. It's a stay away game for me. I'm going to have a couple pints. I'm going to enjoy the first game of the NFL season. I'm going to watch the greatest of all time do it. And I'm going to watch the dysfunction of Dallas. I could see them covering. I don't hate the 7.5 at all. It's a good number. It's a good number, but with all those question marks, man, and it's week 1, and they have the Hard Knocks shit going, the Hard Knocks curse. I'm out. I'm out on Dallas. I like them at 7.5, but too many question marks. I'm gonna enjoy a couple pints, watch the game.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys, as I call them, Cowgirls? Yeah, I never liked backing the Cowboys. Obviously, a public team, but they've kind of been bad at some points in the last few years, or Dak's been hurt, where I've took him catching points. The 7.5 intrigues me a little bit. This is NFL. That's a shit ton of points, to be laying. But the Bucs, all you got to say is they bring back everything. They bring back everything on offense and everything on defense that just won the Super Bowl. That defense was solid. I mean, top 6 all year. I thought their corners were a little shaky, but they got better as the year went on. Devin White, the linebacker, coming into one of the best linebackers in the league. Just a beast. Tons of tackles. He had 9 sacks, forced fumbles. The guy's just an animal there. And, of course, you have Tom Brady, Gronk, Evans. All of them are back, like we talked about. And they're at home. Usually the home team, Super Bowl, they get the ring. They raise everything up, the Super Bowl flag. But the cover is the big key here. Will they just smash them? I don't know. This is a stay away for me, too. If you like the Bucs, I like the value with the Cowboys, and this could be a backdoor if Dak's healthy, like a touchdown spot where they could cover this. Tease it down, if you tease this down to just they win a 0.5 point, 7-point teaser. If you do stuff like that, I only tease in football, so this could be a tease game if you put it with some other ones. But yeah, other people love it. Cowboys, it could get drubbed. We'll see. You never know. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday, like I talk about. But real quick about Dak. Is he going to be healthy? How's he coming back? Of course, they have Elliott. They got all those receivers. Cooper, Lamb, Gallup. They got the weapons. It's just a dysfunction. The shitty defense. Have they got better? The holes there. Zach Martin's going to be out. He's got COVID. The All-Pro center. They have line problems. And that's why Dak's had to be running for his life the last, and getting injured. That's what the strength was when they drafted those guys 4 or 5 years. Everyone goes, wow, this Dallas offensive line is set. Well, they traded him away. They got injured. Zach Martin's kind of the only staple of those kind of 4 or 5 guys I remember from 4 or 5 years ago that they got. He'll be out. Just a lot of question marks. Definitely a watch for me as well. But I see a little value, but I think Tampa's about right there. I'd make them like 8, 9. That's what I thought they'd be right here. How hyped will they be? They should be. They won the Super Bowl. They're at home. And they should cover. It's one I'd probably watch. Like I talk about, if you want to maybe tease it, bring this down so you don't have to worry about getting backdoored. Because NFL, it's backdoor, baby. You'll learn if you do it year in and year out and you're over a touchdown, it is real. So, yeah, this is definitely one. I can't wait, though. NFL is back. God damn, I'm excited. I can't wait. College is back. And that's it. I can't wait for that one Thursday. Do you have official pick on that or no? Just
no
lean, you're
pick,
just going to watch it?
Man. Just some pints and watching football, just enjoying it, man. Just enjoying the first game of the season.
Me too. All righty, let's hit it. A word from our sponsors. Let's get to the commercials. Alrighty, go to Manscaped, hit promo code PubSports, give all that good stuff, and go get it. Get it. The shit's unreal. As Ian would say, get it, shave your nether regions, And then my old promo, we save balls, baby. Get your Manscaped, man. Get it done. New 4.0 lawnmower. That's the new ad song. Real quick on that last game before we get out of here. Cowboys, as dogs of this size, 7 points, 4-1, and a little bit on the total we didn't touch on. Tampa's 8-2 towards the over at home lately in total, so this maybe could go over. Total's going high though; it's already moved. Start moving to 52 in that range in the NFL. Kind of, they always seem to land right around there, under or over. So that is it. We'll be back here next Monday. We'll have all three of us. Ian will be back. I wasn't able to get a third guy. I talked about it. We probably should have for this one, but we got it in. I'll be back in 2 hours with Ski Profit for baseball. I know Labor Day there were some early games, but we had to switch the schedule. So baseball is on every set day, Monday through Friday, for the rest of the year, so everyone knows about it. So we used to get Mondays. Where are you guys at? What time? Yeah, yada, yada, yada. So we're here, and that's it. We're running. Thanks for showing up. We're out of here because we be pumping. Peace. Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.